Can't go a week without highlighting my favourite part of this show is when we get to talk about our animal friends, some four-legged, some two-legged, and they've got them all at Dandelion time in Maidstone because it's time for Animal Magic. And a completely new voice joins me from Dandelion time this afternoon. Very excited to welcome Rachel Rodwell to the airwaves for the first time this afternoon. Now, of course, we've had Graham on before. We've had many members of your charity and supporters, volunteers there as well. Really enjoy talking to all of them. And Rachel, you're very welcome on the air. As I say, a new voice, but not a new voice to Dandelion time there in Maidstone. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Erika. Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. I love putting the spotlight on charities like yourself and organisations like yourself, where you're helping not only the animals that you care for there. You're just outside Maidstone, aren't you? Just tell everybody exactly where they can find you.
That's right. We're on Charlton Lane, West Farley, so just outside on the sort of the hilly, woody area around the outskirts of Maidstone.
Perfect. And you help there not only the animals that you care for, but you also help human beings who come and visit them. And you're a family caseworker there. Just
That's
explain
right,
how
yeah.
that role fits in with all the animals. Exactly what you do day to day.
Yeah, well, I mean, as part of a team of caseworkers, we do work with children who have been affected by really traumatic circumstances in their lives. So they'll be struggling with their emotional well-being. And a lot of the presenting behaviours that they come to Dandelion time with are often labelled as really challenging. These behaviours, these are children asking for help. I'm worried, I'm uncertain, I'm angry, I don't feel safe anymore. And central to what we do is about supporting children to help them feel safe. And we work systemically, so we work together with the parents or the carers, and we work very much not in a therapy room as such, but we work out in nature, so in the woods and in the meadows and the fields. And a big part of what we do is working with our wonderful animal friends who live at Dandelion, and they are really central therapeutically to helping children manage and understand some of these big feelings that come with having experienced trauma. It's incredible, actually, the way children relate to our animals, and equally the way our animals relate to the children. So, when you think of trauma, lots of the manifestations that we have if we're traumatised is that we don't feel safe. Our anxiety levels are through the roof. So when we stroke, one of our donkeys or cuddle a guinea pig, the children, they say that they feel really calm. You see their bodies just calming and relaxing, their shoulders going down, and the guinea pigs in their arms feel calm. And, you might ask this kid, how are you feeling? Oh, I feel really calm. And, another big element of how trauma affects children is in, they have big feelings, big emotions, big behaviours. And we know that they struggle a lot with self-regulating these feelings. And, when we're running through a field of sheep and we desperately want to stroke one of them, especially the cheeky ones, we can't go stomping through and running and spinning. We have to regulate our bodies. We have to slow down. And you know what? Those animals come to the children. And it's just like magic when you see their little bodies calming and the sheep come to them. Or if they just wait patiently and hold out their hand, and a chicken will eventually come to them. It's just magic. It builds trust. We know what it feels like. If we are scared to trust people and the world around us, the animals, they trust us. They trust us with their little bodies. And we learn to trust the animals, that they will respond gently to us. It's just on so many levels, Erika. I just cannot. Empathy. Quite often the children are really find it hard to manage relationships with their friends or their families. And so, we come up to an animal. I'm thinking of a donkey, for instance, our lovely Woody. He has got a little bit of a cut on his face at the moment. I don't know what he's done to it, but it looks very sore, really does. And, one of the children the other day, they said, oh, I said, yeah, he's probably had a bit of an accident. And I said, I wonder how he feels. And this little boy, he said, I think he feels sad because he's hurt himself. And Erika, it was wonderful because it opened up this wonderful conversation about feeling sad, but feeling about how other people might be feeling. And feelings, as caseworkers, it's central for us to help children who have been traumatised. Often they block their feelings, they detach themselves in some way because they don't want to feel those horrible feelings. A lot of what we do with the animals is helping them rediscover feelings. So it could just be as simple as, how do you feel when you hold the skinny pig? Oh, I feel really happy. But then they start to talk about more complex feelings and it comes up. But it's something, and I know that you love your animals too, it's something about that reciprocal relationship between animals and humans that it calms us and stills us and gets us accessing, how we might be feeling ourselves. I just love it. I love working with animals and children, of course.
I'm just wondering, and I'm glad you used the M word there, magic, which I think this is what you're performing there. As you say, if you sat down with one of those children and tried to get them to talk about sadness or an emotion like that, I have no doubt it would be incredibly difficult to do, if not impossible. But through the animals break down the barriers almost, and then all of a sudden the child will tell you things that otherwise it might have been very nervous to do so. And what age range are we talking about there when you say children? How young and how old do you see at Dandelion time?
We've had children sort of about 6 to about 16. So it's a full range of primary school age children and to secondary school. And it doesn't matter how old they are or how sophisticated, they might be in their responses. When it comes to the animals, it just goes to a level where they just start to talk. And we've had children. I mean, I remember once I had a little boy that was selectively mute. He wouldn't say anything to anybody because there was an expectation to speak, and it was all about speaking. And yet he just started whispering to the donkey in his giant ear, because they do have these whispery ears. Oh. And he just at first it was just a few little words, hello and bye-bye. But then the donkey became very central to this child, and it's all about anxiety because, with selective mutism, it's not about not talking, but it's about being scared to take a risk. And at Dandelion, because it's such a safe place and because the animals make us feel so safe, children do take little risks like this. And to access feelings that you haven't wanted to access because it's too scary, is a really brave thing for children to do, and we see it all the time, here. And it's not just the domestic animals that we have. We have massive selection of wild animals and badger sex and foxes, and we have buzzards and owls. And children that they walk through the woods, they listen. They start to calm their bodies. And they can hear the first sound of that first woodpecker in spring, or they hear that distant cry of the buzzard and wonder where it's coming from. And listening to each other is so important. And so children learn to listen, and they don't only just learn to listen to the wonderful natural world around them, but they start to listen to those little inner voices too. It is, Erika, it's magic. I just love my dog.
It is magic. It is magic.
Yeah.
And very emotional, I imagine, at times, Rachel.
Yeah.
And I also, a little bird did tell me, you're a bit of an expert on the wilder animals that you have there. Is that true? Someone told me that?
Well, I do very much. I'm very much interested in wildlife and in ecology and the different birds. And I try to bring that into my own work. We all have our different areas in the team. We have such a diverse range of experiences. And I bring my natural love of everything natural and nature, in particular animals, birds, invertebrates. And for me, it's for children to develop a sense of curiosity, of wonder about the natural world, because I feel that we're so disconnected from nature, in our daily lives. And for children to start to reconnect with the very world that sustains and nurtures us is wonderful, because it helps them reconnect, not just with the woodpecker they're hearing, or, oh, is that a great tit, or is it a blue tit, or, oh, is that a badger set, or is it a fox den, but they're actually connecting with their own curiosity and how they feel about being in this wonderful natural environment. I mean, we have woods, we have meadows, fields, we have all little ecosystems, logs that have the most amazing red centipedes. And initially, when children are scared of something, like they're scared of a spider, we might look at that spider a little bit closer and start to wonder how it might be feeling. Why is it hiding? Why does it feel scary? So it's just
I was just saying, you just lost me there, Rachel, because I don't like spiders myself. So let's talk about furry animals, shall we? Is it true you've had some new arrivals lately, some guinea pigs, which I think are much cuter than, and they've got the right number of legs as well. They don't have 8 legs. Ooh.
They are definitely 4-legged little things with very sharp.
Oh, that's better.
Let's stick to guinea pigs, Erika.
Let's stick to guinea pigs, or anything with that. Donkeys, guinea pigs, I'm fine with. As soon as you get to spiders, I'm like, oh no, back away, Rachel, back away from the spiders.
But do you know what, Erika? I'm so glad you said that with your voice. You were able to say how you felt. And that is so important, to say we like this, but actually we don't like this. But moving swiftly to guinea pigs, they are like furry sausages, and they move really fast.
That's better. Furry sausages. I've never thought of them that way, but I like it. Furry sausages.
Furry little sausages. They move fast, and the children, they're getting used to being handled, because the children know that these might be feeling scared. So let's cuddle the guinea pigs, and they're starting to settle down a little bit.
Oh, how wonderful. Do you have, if anybody's listening and either possibly has a family member they think would benefit from some of those therapeutic aspects that you're talking about, the wonderful animals you do have there at Dandelion Time, and I can't say that enough, but also possibly if it's charity that maybe is on someone's doorstep and they go, hang on a second, I didn't know this was happening down the road for me, I'd like to support you. Is there an email address or a website you'd like to direct people to?
Certainly. Oh, that would be absolutely wonderful. Our website is www.dandeliontime.org.uk, and on there we have all these different opportunities. We have a little button if you want to donate financially, and we're always looking for volunteers. So fundraising team opportunities at the moment. If you think you can get money out of people, please come and join us.